All right, so we're looking at most, at least. So at least is a minimum of, at most is a maximum of. At least 7 means there's a minimum of 7 or more. At most, 10 means a maximum of 10 or 10 or less. So if I just pull my pens in here, I know that I have at least 3 pens. That means I have 3 or more. I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pens. So I have 3 or more. That would be at least. Now I could also say I have at most 5 pens. That means at most I have 5, but I could have less than 5. Here I actually do have 5. I could say at most I have 6 pens. That means I could have 6 at most, but I might have less than 6. I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pens, so that would be at most 6. I could have 6 or less. So this would still work under at most 6. All right, so let's go look at some examples. It will cost at least $50 for your concert ticket. That means your ticket will cost $50 or more. The number of points you can earn is at most 20. That means that you can earn between 0 and 20 points. You can't earn more than 20 because at most you can gain that. So example 1, Jake has at least $20 in his wallet. How much money could Jake have in his wallet? If he has at least $20, that means he knows he's got like a $20 bill, but he thinks he has some other money in there. So he knows he has a 20, but he also knows he might have like a couple of ones. So at least $20 means he has $20 or more. Example 2, each item on the menu costs at most $15.95. How much could you pay when ordering one item? Well, if each item costs at most $15.95, that means the most it will be is $15.95, or it could be less. So it would be, how much could you pay? $15.95 or less. Example 3, in order to get an A in the class, I have to earn at least 175 points on the 200-point final exam. How many points can you earn on the final to get an A in the class? Well, you have to get at least 175 up to 200. So it's somewhere between 175 and 200 points will get you an A in the class. If you don't get at least 175 points, you won't get your A. So you have to at least get that 175 or more of them. Teresa says, I got at most 4 of the 10 questions right on today's quiz. So how many questions does she believe she got correct? Well, if she got at most 4, she thinks she got maybe 4 of them, but it might be less. So she got 4 or 3 or 2 or 1 or maybe no questions right. Paul is looking for a house that has at least 1,750 square feet and at most 2,200 square feet. How many square feet will fit or satisfy his requirement? Well, he needs a house that is somewhere between 1,750 square feet up to 2,200 square feet. He doesn't want it any bigger than this, and he doesn't want it any smaller than that. So somewhere between 1,750 square feet up to 2,200 square feet. All right, now we're going to use what we understand about at most, at least, and we're going to use it with some data. So here we'll have some writing, and if you were writing, if it was an answer on a test or something, you would write out the things that we were saying, but I think for this you can kind of understand, and when I teach it in class, I don't write all of those out, we just talk about what it means. So the following data represents the number of earthquakes worldwide whose magnitude was less than 8.0 in 1998. So So here's our magnitudes. We want to know how many earthquakes. So this will be example 6, part A. And if you're in the course, you've got your questions are listed here. But there wasn't room to get them all underneath it. So for part A, we want to know how many earthquakes were at least 5.0. So at least means 5.0 or more. So we're going to come look for the 5.0 and anything that's also greater than that. So we're going to take 832 plus 113 plus 10 because we're looking for the ones that are at least 5.0 and greater. When we add those together, we get 955 total earthquakes that were at least 5.0 or greater. All right, let's look for part B. At most 3.9. So at most means it's 3.9 or less. So if we think about this, it's at least goes to more, at most goes to less. So they kind of do the opposite letter. Least goes to more, most goes to the less. So they're a little bit opposite. They're not the same. So at most 3.9, we're going to stop at this number here, but we're going to add all of the ones below it. So we'll have 2389 plus 752 plus 3851 plus 5639. So that takes care of these categories that are at most 3.9. And that gets us a total of 12,631. All right, let's look at part C. So part C says at least 4.0, but no more than 5.9. So at least 4.0, but at most 5.9 is basically what we're saying. So 4.0 at least, that means we're starting with this category, 6943. And at most 5.9, that's the very next category, so plus 832. And when we add those two, we get 7,775, and that would be our final answer for that. So being able to use a chart and understand how to pull the data from there is important for this set of information.